Welcome back to What Arty Noobs for General Disturbance. This is the Gorilla. It's the Tier 5 German SPG. It's located on the west spawn of Karelia, and it's under the command of Sunkmariner. Now, he sent in this replay and another, so we've got two to watch, which show us where he likes to go to fire from in these games on the Karelia map. Game on! Okay, 15 centimeter howitzer, a Schwer howitzer, that's a heavy one, actually located on top of the hull that originally would have been a Hetzer or a Hansa Acton ICT. It's also could have been used for a Marder. In fact, it would be a Marder without the 15 centimeter howitzer, and instead it would carry a 75mm main gun. Now, the shells are capable of 480 Alpha, 38mm a pen, 6.7 meters burst radius, 6 or to 10 seconds of stun. Now, as you can see, he's gone down into the dip on the west side of the map. He likes to use the other dip on the other side of the map as well. And although this can restrict your field of fire, it can also produce some good results. And he's just got a direct hit on the enemy, who was actually the AMX-40. So he's probably badly damaged that guy with his first shot, because that's a tier 4 tank in a tier 5 game. Okay, you can see the M10 fires one in. Okay, we're not showing any damage so far, because every time he fires at these targets, they go unspotted immediately afterwards. So we're having to guess how much damage he might have done. But it could be as much as 480, it could be as much as 200 meat shot. He's dialing in on a T-34, which is actually on his own over there. Oh, he killed him with one shot! The T-34's out of the game, and he's got his first kill, although it's not actually showing on the score. Yeah, he's that effective. Okay, this is looking a very interesting game, because the Gorilla does have a very narrow arc of fire. It's only got 10 degrees, 5 degrees either side of the center line. And the problem with that is that you can see the AMX is missing quite a lot of hit points from that first shot. But you can see it's actually very difficult to get the aim to dial in, because you fire and, oh, he looked away there. Don't do that. We want to see the enemy tanks hit. Yes, it's actually quite difficult to get the aim to dial in, because it does have a long dial in time, but the results are very good if you get them very accurate. So you need to get dialed in for it to be accurate. Rounds out. Oh, that was a direct hit on the Matilda, and he's virtually lost all of his hit points. He did appear immediately afterwards, and you can see there he's only got 75 left, and he goes down. Unfortunately, we didn't get any stun assist out of that one, because he lost his stun just before he got killed. Only between 6.5 to 10 seconds of stun. If you get the short amount and then the guy gets killed, then obviously it's difficult. Or they could use their first aid kit to get rid of the stun and then get killed. He fires one in at the Churchill, and again he looks away. Don't do that. We can't do replays if you keep looking away all the time, because we can't see the damage. Well, you can see quite a few of the enemy tanks are actually now coming into the horseshoe at the on the South Pass, and we do have a few tanks up there, including an AMX CLC, and they might see these guys coming. Things are not going well. We did have a T6 medium up there. And, oh, there's the enemy T6 medium. Yes, it's unfortunate that he's doing what he's doing. He's finding the target, styling in, and then shooting and coming out of aim view immediately after he fires. And when you do that, you don't give us an adequate look at the target. We want to see the target damaged, you see. We don't want... That's it, that's better. You got it right there. I know some people say, oh, we have to come out of aim view because we have to move to avoid counter battery. But is the enemy trying to counter battery at you the moment that you fire? Most of the times, no. And it's normally only on the NA server. See, he does it here. He fires and then comes out of aim view. Now, accidentally, I've done that a few times where I've accidentally come out of aim view, but I don't try to do it on purpose. I try to stay so I can see what's actually happening. If you don't stay, as I said, we just can't do the replay because people can't see what you're actually aiming at and if you hit it or not. Okay, he fires again, does the same thing again. This is a big no-no with us. We don't know if that shell actually hit the target, if it landed on the target. You're not showing us what's going on, and as a consequence, if we get replays like this, we will just reject them in future. You're actually effectively blocking yourself from ever being on the channel. The team are doing very well because there's only 3 enemy left in this game. The P2640, the Italian tier 4 medium, is somewhere up on the horseshoe. They've got a couple of others, including their Arty, which is a 105 FH 18B2, Fifi La Pew Pew, and he's actually now been cornered by one of our tanks, so I don't think he's got very much longer to live. In fact, actually, he just killed our AMX CLC. I think it was that Stug. No, I think that was the Stug. There's the Fifi, or Leffy as some people call it. He's trying to dial in. He fires blind, and he comes out of aim view immediately. He does that. And again, I'm afraid this means I think we're going to reject any video from Sunkmariner in future because we can't use his videos if he won't show us what he's hitting. We are very plain about this. We've said to other people, if you keep doing this, then you're effectively destroying any chance that you're going to be featured. I mean, the argument we put forward is we say, if you were in a tank, would you look away after you fired your shot? No, you wouldn't. You would keep looking at the target to see if the shot hit the target or not. And if you didn't hit the target, you'd fire again. And you'd keep looking at the target, because if you didn't, your aim would bloom every time you looked away. So he's got close to the cap, and they've killed the last one, so that's it. Game over. Here's the end of battle stats. Well, there's a second-class tanker for Sunkmariner in the Gorilla. He managed to get a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. In fact, he got 8. And he did show us where he fires from, but the problem is that he's not showing us when he's attacking or what he's attacking, because after he dials in, he fires and then he disappears away. He didn't get the highest damage in the game. The KV-1 got 1,557, but didn't pick up a high caliber because that wasn't 20% of the enemy hit pool. He did get the second highest in damage, though. It's 1,393, and that was the biggest damage on his team as well. And when it came to third place, that went to the Fifi on the enemy team, 1,202. When it came to kills, though, we can see it was the Matilda on our team who actually did the best. 4 kills to him, 3 kills to the M10 RBFM, 3 kills to the Striv M42 in second place. And in third place was the enemy Fifi, who got 2 kills and their KV-1. And in this game, yes, I'm afraid Sunkmariner only killed the 1 tank. But, okay, he got a tank, but he just collected the hit points. He was actually stripping the enemy of their hit points, but he wasn't allowing us to see that he was doing that because after he fired, he just looked away immediately. When it came to base XP, we can see he's way down the table. He's actually got 545. It is better than anyone on the enemy team, but the best scorers were the AMX ELC Biz with 724 and the Striv M42. They both got the same base XP, 629 to the Matilda, 605 to the Panzerkampfwagen Zwei. And let's have a look at detail. Well, Sunkmariner fired 11 rounds, 5 direct hits, 1 penetrating shot. Let's have a look at that. See who it was. Was it the... Oh, it was the T-34 that he killed up with 1 shot. Yeah, the shell went right through the side of the tank and eliminated him. Now, we did get to see that kill because he stayed in battle assistant and we actually saw it. We saw him completely wiped out. He, in fact, actually disappeared as a target. We lost sight of him momentarily, but because I stayed in aim view and he stayed in aim view, we suddenly saw the wreck appear out of nowhere and knew that, yes, he had actually taken him out completely. He also got 6 splashes, damage of 1,393, all of it at more than 300 meters, damaged 6 of the enemy, killed 1, so he missed out on the Confederate by 1 tank, 46 hit points of damage assist, and 109 hit points of stun assist of 6 stuns. Now, on a premium account, he actually made 86,991 credits from that game, which is a good score. And he also picked up 2,045 experience points out of it as well. But sadly, yes, I'm afraid the way he plays is going to get him disqualified from the channel, because I'm afraid we just can't use replays where he immediately looks away after he shoots, because we're not going to see anything happen to the enemy. We're not even going to see if the shell landed on the target or if it missed it. The surprising thing is that a couple of the shots he did fire, he did stay to see if the shell hit the target. And we saw either a blind hit or he actually stayed with the target when it went up onto the horseshoe and got a hit that way, and we saw it. But if he does it intermittently, he only allows us to see the enemy being hit occasionally, he's going to miss out on information such as, was it a blind hit? Was it a direct hit? Was it a near miss? Did he hit somebody else? You know, it could be possible that he actually fires a round in at the enemy tank. The shell misses the target and hits somebody else. And you wouldn't know about that if you looked away immediately after you fire, because you wouldn't see that the shell disappeared, but it disappeared to a different tank that was not on the spot that you were aiming at. And that's happened in the game as well. So anyway, I did say it's a 2 replay video, so we're going to have a look at the second one in the SU-8. Here's the SU-8, the Tier 6 Soviet SPG, located on the eastbourne this time of Karelia, and still under the command of Sunkmariner. Let's see if he actually does the same again and looks away after he shoots. Game on. This time round, it's a 152mm howitzer instead of a 15cm. He's got 550 alpha, 38mm of pen, 6.7 meters burst radius, and stun of between 6.5 to 11 seconds. So it's about the same amount of stun time, slightly more damage, a bit more mobile. This thing's actually quite fast in comparison to other Arty. Now he's looking for a target. We haven't seen anyone yet. Okay, we saw the tracer, so we can estimate where the enemy might be, but we don't have a confirmation of it yet. Now, as you know, the SU-8 is based on the T-28. Oh, he's done it again. This is not what we want to see. Okay, well, the reload is normally quite fast on this Arty. You can see the Panzerfahr F2, one of the new premiums, and he fires around in. Yes, he did stay to see what happened to that shell. And now we can see this AMX-13 F11. Well, he didn't last very long, did he? In fact, I think it was his own fault that he dived down the cliff edge there, thought, yes, I'll get down into the water. But whoever was actually aiming at him was already well set up, ready to get the kill. Now, that AMX is still there, the AMX, the Panzerfahr, but instead we're looking elsewhere. We've got a target over on the other side of the battlefield. Fires a round in, and yes, he looks away again. Oh dear. This is not good. If you keep doing this, it will disqualify you as able to get a video on our channel. We won't do videos for people who just keep looking away all the time. I can accept it as an accident sometimes. Even I've been known to make that mistake. But it is a mistake. It's accidental. It's not real. It's not intentional. Now, he did stun that Fury, although he didn't get the shell on target. He did actually stun the target, and that helped. The Fury did take some damage whilst he was being fired on. Okay, he's aiming for the Fury, and he's done it again. I mean, we tried to teach the best Arty practice in the game to try and show people exactly how Arty can be played and played well. And the really good players don't look away after they shoot. They don't have to. Now, he fired that round at the Jagdpanzer IV. Although it's unspotted, we didn't see any damage come off it. He's almost reloaded, going for the OI. And it's, oh, he's only got an occluded reticule there. Now, he did stay with the target there to see if the shell would get over the rock. It didn't. And now he's trying to get that Jagdpanzer IV, who's also staying on that corner. Fires around in and looks away again. I mean, you've got no hope of knowing if you've hit a blind target if you fire around in and you just don't look to see if the shell disappears without an explosion. He's also changing his view every time he looks, which is making it difficult for me to catch up with him. And he's done it again. It's not an ideal practice to do this, you see, because if you do keep looking away after you shoot, you can't tell and get the information you need on whether you hit blind targets. And we've got a tree going down, so something is there. If he fires at that target and looks away, he'll never know if that shell actually does anything. Okay, got two targets here. He's having to dial in as quickly as he can. Soviet Artys do dial in quickly. But he's got a KV-1SA. Now, does he fight yet? He looks away. Now, he's got no hope of knowing if that shell did anything at all. It might have hit the target, and he doesn't know. He can't even guess because he can't confirm if the shell actually hit a target or not. Okay, enemy Archie spin spotted. Now, will he look away at this one? Or will he look to see if it hits the target? The target's maneuvering quite a lot. But he tries to fire ahead, and again, he looks away. I'm afraid it's very much looking like we will be disqualifying Sunkmariner from appearing on our channel in the future, because unless he changes his behavior and actually keeps looking at the target whilst he fires at it to see what happens to the shell, then we've got no reason to do it. And he's looking now. He looks and he kills the target. He didn't look away. That's what we want. We want you to see the target destroyed, to see if the shell misses, to see if the shell hits a target but it's unseen. Now he's guessing that the target might be behind that bush. The shell hits the rock face though instead. Now, both sides are doing equally well at the moment because the scores are equal. It looks like the enemy does actually have some fairly good approaches coming in from the east, or from the west rather. Okay, we can see that the KV-1SA did make it to the corner, but that shell didn't. And again, he did stay to see what happened to the shell. Now, will he stay to watch what happens to this one? He's aiming there. Yes, he does stay to look. Now, this is a bit of a dangerous move, because what he's doing is he's actually trying to aim along that path, that road, running to the west. And I think the enemy tank's going to see him before he sees them, because he's only got a view range of 260 meters. The tank's probably got a view range of about 300 or 330, something of that nature. So he's not going to see the enemy tank. So that's why he should always have a tank between him and the enemy so that they can spot for him. If he doesn't spot, or doesn't have a spotter, then he's going to be the victim, not the tank. He's going to find out very quickly, and he's going to lose vehicles that way. Now you can see he does have achievement awards on the side of his vehicle. He has played a lot. trouble is his technique is, how should we say it, it's flawed. That's the best way of describing it. He does get good results, but I'm afraid his results are not the sort of results that we can put into a video. And there, the enemy tank goes down to the MT-25. Was it the Hellcat? That was... No, it was the MT-25. Okay, the OI. It's right on the corner. It's a difficult shot because the rock face is actually in the way, just on that corner. He's got 5 HE rounds left. And we're 2 ahead of the enemy at the moment. Now that VK3002M is in sight. Now he's dialing in. Get it set up. Don't fire before you're ready. Oh, he did. The target was wiped out anyway. It was taken out by the Hellcat. So now we've only got 3 enemy vehicles left. There's one of them. It's a Nashorn. At least I think it is. Yep. It's basically a Panzer IV hull with a 75 or an 88mm gun on it. Probably the 88. Now, he wasn't able to get a good line on target there. And again, he did look away. Again, what he's doing at the moment is fairly dangerous, but I think it is acceptable to try and get close to the enemy when he has got somebody nearby the enemy who might be able to spot for him. The MT-25 is in a position where he might be able to see that Nashorn, and if he does spot the Nashorn, then he should be close enough to get a shot on the target, so long as he keeps the target in his view. Okay. There's the Nashorn. Dial in. Let it settle. Let it settle. Rounds out. And he does get the kill. And it was a penetrating shot as well. 428. That was all that the guy had left. So, yes, that was definitely a penetration. Nashorns don't have much armor. Any shell that hits them is more than likely going to go through their gun shields. He might have a clean shot on the OI, but I suspect the OI might be around the corner and he's about to be spotted by the Hellcat. In fact, he actually returned to his cap, which makes him an even better target because he's now slow and vulnerable. Oh, he got the kill, but it was announced as a text message across the screen saying, you got him. There's still one enemy out there, the Fifi. We don't know where he is. He does have 3 kills now, which means he's platooned with the Hellcat to get a Brothers in Arms. And there's the Fifi right up against the back of the map. We're dialing in. He fires blind, but he was a fully blown rescue. He only got some damage from a near miss. And he picked up stun assist because that guy took a hit. And I think it might have been the Hellcat who actually got the hit, or the AMX, and it was actually the MT-25. And the game is over. Here's the end of battle results, and this game's a little bit better than the last one, but not much. He got a second-class tanker in the game, as well as a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits in this game. Managed to get 8. He also got a Brothers in Arms for getting at least 3 kills and being in a platoon with somebody else who got at least 3 kills. So, yes, that's a plus. But I'm afraid, yes, there was a lot of mistakes made in this game, and we can see that the highest damage actually did go to the A43 on his team with 1,806. Second highest damage went to Sunkmariner with 1,543. And the third highest went to the M18 Hellcat, his platoon mate, with 1,513. Just 30 hit points less. When it came to kills, we can see it was the Hellcat who got the best with 4 kills. 3 kills went to Sunkmariner and also to the enemy Fifi. And 2 kills went to the MT-25 and the VK3002M on the enemy team. And when it came to base XP, we can see the MT-25 did the best. And I think he did a lot of spotting, this guy. He certainly did. Look at that, 2,321 spotting. So that guy was very, very efficient without getting killed. He was still alive at the end of the game. Got the last kill of the game as well. 839 went to the A43 and 788 went to his platoon mate in the M18 Hellcat, with Sunkmariner getting 762 out of it in 4th place. Well, he did a bit better on score this time, but that's because the enemy tanks were actually putting up quite a big fight. He fired 21 rounds in this game, more than the last one. 4 direct hits on the enemy, 2 penetrating shots. And I think, yes, we can see that the Nashorn was penetrated. So was the BDR G1B. That was 2 tanks that he actually did stay to look at. Well, he stayed to look at the BDR G1B when it was wiped out, and it just literally blew up. The Nashorn, he didn't actually stay to look. He fired and then looked away afterwards. But there were other tanks that he did stay for, and we got to see it. Go back to the details. We can see he also got 10 splashes, 1,543 hit points of damage, all of it at more than 300 meters. Damaged 7 of the enemy, killed 3, and 696 hit points of stun assist off 9 stuns. On a premium count, he actually made a profit of 37,112 credits from the game. And he also picked up 6,287 experience points out of it as well. So positive on that because he got a personal missions payout, which is quite substantial. But I have to say, right at the end, no, I'm afraid Sunkmariner needs to improve his play. He needs to watch his targets. He needs to stay with the target all the way because you gain information from your shot on that target as to whether you were fully dialed in, as to if the shell wounded somebody, or if it actually hit the wrong target, if it actually hit a target that you couldn't see. You need to see those sort of things. You need to know them. And if you don't look at the targets and you just fire and drive away, I'm afraid we cannot produce a video that's actually worthwhile for the channel. Because, of course, it's not the sort of thing that we encourage people to do. There are people who do play Arty and they do look away afterwards, or at least they pull back from their view to look from a distance so they can get an all-round perspective of what's going on. But if you fire and then immediately look away after you fired so that we see the shell departing the tube, so to speak, you don't give us any information about what actually happened to that shell by looking at the target, and therefore we're not going to be able to do a video because it's not good practice. That's not what an Arty player should be doing. They should be looking at the target to see where the fall of shot was, and then either correct that fall of shot if it was wrong, or if it was good, or if it was valid, it did hit something, then obviously taking that knowledge with you to then change how you're actually playing to get the kill, or to help your teammates by saying, yeah, I hit somebody in there because there must be something in there because I got a hit on it and it was unspotted. So yes, Sunkmariner, nice of you to send in these replays, but I'm afraid, as I said, we can't do any more videos for you until you change your technique, until you look at the target and keep looking at the target. You do some of the time, you just don't do it all the time. And I'm afraid, as such, we can't do videos for you until you do. So sad that we're going to have to say that, but this is probably going to be the only video we ever do for you on that basis. It's essential that you get that information. It's part of the game. If you look at the other players, they don't do it. Well, a few look away accidentally. A few, like myself, where I've accidentally hit the mouse button too hard and it's come out of aim view because of it, or because somebody actually part of their technique and they've been warned by us not to do it because it actually ruins the enjoyment of the game by others. So there you go. It's interesting the positions you actually went to. I would say that the dip, when you went to the dip on the Grille, the walls of that dip can actually be quite hindering. Also, it's quite a limited area. It's difficult to get out of that little area because it's quite steep. And if you go into there, sooner or later, the enemy's going to see the shells coming out of that dip and they're going to start aiming inside it. And there's only a few limited places that you can fire from. And sooner or later, the enemy will counter battery you in there. So not a great position to be in, because if an enemy light tank suddenly turns up out of nowhere, I think you're probably going to be toast because there's no way you can get out fast enough to counter him. As for the SU-8, well, yes, that does have a lot of speed, so you can move about quite quickly. The top speed is, if I remember correctly, it's 30 kilometers an hour, but no, that's not the right speed. What is it? It's 40 48 kilometers now, so it is reasonably quick. Yeah, you can get about in that one, about the map, so you can run away from enemy light tanks, or at least you can put up a fight. But the problem is that if you move about where you were doing today, especially where you actually thought for a second about going down that main road towards the enemy KV-1S, that would have been a critical error, because you would have been spotted by him first, and he would have got you before you could do anything about it. So not a great idea. You need to think about where you can go, where you can't be seen, and changing position every now and then. But please do watch the enemy and see where what happens to your shells. Okay, so if you enjoyed that replay, please give this video a like. Do subscribe to our channel. Leave a comment down below, say about what you actually do. If you think it's a bit of a mistake to actually look away after you shoot, please do encourage Sunkmariner to change his technique, and if you've actually changed your technique and you've become better. I know a lot of people are watching these videos and they are picking up tips on how to play and getting much better because of them. If you've actually changed your technique and it's worked for you and you're getting better, please do let Sunkmariner know. But sadly, I don't think we will continue to do his videos whilst he's actually doing the wrong thing as far as we see it, by looking away. Anyway, thank you very much for watching.